Did you ever see that show, The Good Place? It's kind of a quirky comedy, but it deals in a lot of philosophical questions. One of the core questions in that show is, what do we owe each other? I love that question. There's a tornado survivor from North St. Louis who went to DC this week to ask that same question. I'm not sure I'd call DC the good place, but when disaster strikes, what do we owe each other? What is that deal that government makes with its citizens? That question sits at the heart of so many political debates that have defined who rises to power. The contract with America, remember that? That idea was so powerful it helped Newt Gingrich sweep to power for the first time for Republicans in decades in 1994. Of course, you know that guy who wrote The Art of the Deal? We put him in the White House to negotiate better deals for workers 2 times over. Even Abraham Lincoln understood that core promise of government. He argued that government exists so that we can do collectively what we could not do alone. And few people feel more alone than those who watch the winds rip the roof off their childhood home. Few people feel more alone than having to cobble back brick by brick and pick up from all that disaster that in their front yard. So what does government owe that family if they're uninsured, underinsured, denied insurance? For decades, we've looked to FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, to help be that backstop when all else fails. But now, some in the Trump administration want to shrink FEMA. They want to shift that responsibility away from the federal government onto states, onto the private for-profit health insurance markets. And all those ideas are laid out in 2 places. Project 2025, and in a new memo that was leaked. CNN obtained it from the Trump-appointed FEMA Review Council. Could be coming up for a vote in Congress soon. So we're asking tornado survivors what that would mean for them. And what do they want their elected officials to do when that question comes up for them? We're going to bring you that story tonight. But first, I want to hear from you. When it comes to disasters, in the comments, what do we owe each other?